And moving on to some news from the west of the continent right now, Wolefa Morewa caught up with Kole Masha, who's technical advisor to the Minister of Agriculture, and asked him about Nigeria's approach to the agricultural transformation we're seeing on that end.
Fundamentally, what the Honourable Minister, Dr. Aki Adesina, is bringing to bear is his tremendous experience working across the continent, working with governments at all levels to drive agricultural transformations. And with that experience, he recognizes that really transformation and change must be driven from the bottom up. And so the whole concept of subsidiarity and working with the states is a very critical part of our strategy. What the Honourable Minister has done to ensure that this actually translates into effective work on the ground is, for the first time, he's decentralizing the Federal Ministry of Agriculture to the point where we have directors now who are actually based in the regions, and those directors will be working hand in hand with the state governments to develop these strategies in line with the state's own goals. And so every naira that comes from the federal government will then be treated as investment to be developed in an investment compact with the states to drive that execution hand in hand with the state governments.
One thing that I think captures the imagination of many is the pace of growth that the ministry is projecting. We know that the Honourable Minister has had some experience in other African countries where we've seen massive results as well in a very short time. Talk us through the precedent we've seen in Africa and why you're confident that we'll see the same level of growth and the same pace of growth in Nigeria.
Well, once again, Nigeria is very fortunate to have somebody with the depth of experience of Dr. Aki Adesina. If we take, for example, the work that he did with Malawi when he was with the Rockefeller Foundation running their activities in Southern Africa, he worked with that government to develop a system that in one planting season, by ensuring that you got the input markets right, Malawi was able to practically double its agricultural productivity. So it shows that these things it's not rocket science. You come in with the right experience, the right management, the right ideas, and drive that, which the Honourable Minister is doing tirelessly, you will see rapid growth.
Let's talk a bit about technology. Obviously, this is 21st century. Things have changed from the last time we had any serious agri policy in this country.
Technology is very critical, and I think really when one talks about technology, often one thinks about tractors, so on and so forth. Don't get me wrong; mechanization is very important, but really the technology that is going to unlock the real potential is around seeds and varieties of inputs that are resistant to certain pests and diseases and more, basically able to do better within our environment. So, for example, what the Honourable Minister has done is he's taken the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, which right now plays a loose role in coordinating the multitude of different agricultural research institutes and colleges within Nigeria, and has set that organization on a path to transform to the Agricultural Transformation Agency. That's Nigerian Agricultural Transformation Agency, NATA. And modeling that around the Brazilian model, which is an organization called Embrapa, which was really at the core of driving the growth of the Brazilian agriculture sector by developing improved varieties for commodities like soybeans, sugar, so on and so forth, that really put Brazil at the leading point in these key commodities.
Now, like I mentioned earlier, it's a massive project. There's so many commodities that we can get involved in. Obviously, we know the history of Nigeria with groundnuts and the groundnut pyramids in the 60s and the 70s. We know we also have a rich history in cocoa. Where do we focus? What's the focus of the agrics transformation agenda, if you like? Are there any particular commodities that we're focusing on right now?
Yes, I think we've targeted specific commodities that we believe will have the ability to have rapid impact quickly, as well as drive some of the key agenda that the President is driving, which is around poverty alleviation, job creation, and food security. So from that standpoint, we've targeted initially 5 key commodities: rice, sorghum, cocoa, cotton, and cassava. And within each of those, targeting key value chains that we have been fortunate enough to bring in some of the best minds across the globe to come in and work hand in hand with the Honourable Minister to drive the transformation of these value chains.